Buenos dias, señor. I transferred from another school, me and my two sons. One of them has autism and has been getting assistance over the last few years, but my other son was diagnosed with ADHD. I was wondering if there's any programs that might be able to help him. Are we related? Anyway, yeah. There's a couple of programs that'll guarantee that both of your children receive a free, appropriate public education. The first one of those that will, has probably actually been helping your other son. With autism is the IDEA, which is an individualized, or which is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act that makes sure that every child with disabilities receives a free, appropriate public education, and it provides specialized services to children who need them. It also requires that students are educated in the least restrictive environment, and many of the time that's just a general education classroom with their friends and peers. With Section 504 would be assisting your son with ADHD, and this is a part of the Rehabilitation Act and is a national law that covers the rights of all individuals with disabilities. Because our institution is federally funded, it ensures that individuals with disabilities are given the accommodations and modifications that are needed, and even in sports programs. It also ensures that students receive a free, appropriate public education, of course, because otherwise it'd be considered discrimination. Do you have any other questions on these? Sí, señor. What qualifies my son under the IDEA y my other son under Section 504? Oh, well, there are 13 conditions that qualify a student for the IDEA, and one of those specifically is autism. Under Section 504, a child qualifies if they have a physical or mental impairment that limits a major life activity, and this could even be temporary. So some of those include caring for themselves, performing manual tasks, walking, seeing, hearing, speaking, breathing, and in your son's case, learning or working. Do you have any other questions on those? Sí, señor. Can you kind of sum up the major differences of one and the other and the similarities? Yeah, no problem. Okay, so going over those one more time, the major similarities out. Evaluations are required for both, and both ensure that your sons receive a free, appropriate education with individualized instruction. We are going to need an IEP, which is an individualized education plan for your son with autism, but we don't need that for your son with ADHD. The IDEA also requires that the school evaluate your son that might have a disability, and Section 504 doesn't require that. We just need the documentation. IDEA also, we receive funding for your son with autism, and in Section 504, we don't receive additional funding, but we still have to provide those accommodations. The last little thing is that the IDEA requires written consent from you before we can have that initial review, but Section 504 doesn't require written consent. I believe that's it. Have a good day.